All right, what's going on? Let's swap the water. Hey, Shalom Yahal by Hashem Yahushai. Brought a thumb to the brothers. Shalom Yahal Shamar Elatah by Hashem Yahushai to the sisters. The water. This is the ISUPK, started 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. You understand? This is the Las Vegas Tuesday Brotherhood class out here in Las Vegas. Let's give the Lord a hand. All right, and I am your teacher today, Precinct Officer 500 Arak. All right, and today's topic, as the title says, salvation is for one people. All right, so my objective today with today's class is to teach y'all not only that salvation is for only one people, but also a specific people. You understand? Can you tell me, young man, who that specific people is?
Israelites.
But who are they in layman's terms? Remember, I'm a dumb Christian when I'm asking you questions.
So-called blacks and indigenous people, Latinos.
And the Latinos. That's exactly it. You understand? These classes are for just those said people, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and indigenous peoples. You understand? The indigenous peoples of North America. You understand? North and South America. You understand? The so-called Native Americans. You understand? So before we actually get into the title, or it's like before we actually get into the class, I'm just going to ask that everybody does their part to make sure that they like and share the class. If you are going to go onto YouTube, the Las Vegas Israelites, make sure that you like and share, like, comment, and share on the YouTube page. Make sure that you also subscribe. You understand? Hit the little bell button so you can be notified to all of our not only just our classes, but all our content that we come out with. You understand? Not too long ago, we had an interview with TD Jakes, the man who talks about being swallowed. You understand? We interviewed his cousin. You understand? You can find that on our YouTube. Again, that's Las Vegas Israelites. You understand? You don't want to miss out on any of our upcoming content. And then also make sure that you jump over to Facebook, you know, show your support on our Facebook, Las Vegas, what is it? ISUPK Las Vegas. You understand? Make sure that you like and share that page as well, right? So in the meantime, while y'all do that, I'm going to do my part as well to do the same. So lock you. So in the meantime, while I'm doing that, if anybody is online that has any questions, feel free to post them in the chat. I will answer them to the best of my ability scripturally. If I'm unable to do so myself, I will write down your question, you understand, and take that question to a mightier man than myself to get that answered for you. You understand? The big thing, you know, that's one of the things that separates us from the Christian churches is the fact that, you know, we're not going to sit here and tell you to pray about it. We're not going to do a song and dance. We're not going to tell you something that just makes you feel good. You understand? And here in the ISUPK, we call ourselves the home of the truth for a reason. You understand? And that's because we deal with nothing but the truth. You understand? We're not going to tell you something that makes you, you know, just makes you feel good temporarily. You understand? We are that real medicine that is bitter to the tongue, bitter to the stomach, but you know what? It is good for the whole body, mind, and soul. You understand? So feel free to answer your ask your questions in the chat. All obviously in the classroom, make sure that you raise your hand if you have any questions, whether it's on or off topic. And let's see. Oh, I see you. I see you out. Give me 1 second. And I believe that's it. Oh, hold on. Let me make sure I get that from the officer. So okay. All right. Let's see. Do we have anything online yet? All right, Most High Christ. Well, see, hey, Most High Christ. That's sister. Hey, Shalom, Lord of Christ, sis. It's good to see you in class again. You is faithfully being in these classes. Most High Christ. It's good to see you again, sis. Lord allowed I get to see you and your husband at Passover. We can all share a drink together. All All right. So if there's no, I see that there's no questions in the class. All right. So like online as of yet, young man, you had your hand raised.
Okay.
All right. What's up?
I just want to get a breakdown on Acts chapter 10, verse 34 to 36.
Acts chapter 10.
And I guess this could be on topic. I didn't even know the topic of the class, but it's kind of on point.
Won't he do it? Well, hold on. If that's the case, let me see if this is part of my, if this is in my notes. If it's in my notes, then we'll save it until we get there, depending on how deep into the notes it is. You must put in the work. Hey, Con says most high Christ. Let's see. Nope, I went too far. Too far. I hate it when I lock my phone and then. Would you say Acts 10?
10 to 34 to 36.
Nope, but I might have to add it if this is good enough. All right, yeah, go ahead. What's your question? So 10, you said 34 to 36?
All
right, go ahead and read it. Read it when you got it.
The book of Acts, chapter 10, verse number 34.
Uh-huh.
Then Peter opened his mouth and said, of a truth, I perceive that God is no respecter of persons.
Uh-huh.
But in every nation, he that feareth him and worketh righteousness is accepted with him.
Okay.
The word which God sent unto the children of Israel, preaching peace by Yahushua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ, he is Lord of all.
So I'll just say Yahushua HaMashiach. So since you understand that, you don't have to say, Jesus Christ. You don't have to do that.
Okay.
All right. So because if people are watching online, they already pretty much know that we say Yahushua HaMashiach. If they're like, hold on, what is he reading from? They'll ask it and I'll address it. You know what I'm saying? So, okay. So you need a breakdown of this. What in particular is your question though with this? Or you just need a thorough breakdown?
So my question is because it's saying right here in 35, it says, but in every nation, he that feareth him and worketh righteousness is accepted with him. Okay. So that kind of makes me think, like, is this talking about what I think it's talking about, or
what do you think it's talking about?
That if you're being righteous, no matter what nation you're in, the Lord accepts you.
Okay. So can Moab, can the so-called Chinaman, Japanese, African booty scratchers, can they be righteous?
I've never seen it.
What makes you right? What makes somebody righteous?
Keeping the law, statutes, and commandments.
Okay, so again, can the African booty scratcher be righteous?
Nah.
Why not?
Because the laws weren't given to the Israelites.
Okay, so now precept. Where should you go to also prove what we just said?
All right. The book of Psalms, chapter 147, and verse number 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
Okay, so the word, the statutes and the judgments, the law, statutes, and commandments, right? Go ahead.
He have not dealt so with any nation.
Nah, the whole nation.
He have not dealt so with any nation.
Anybody on the face of the earth is able to get this law.
He have not dealt so with any nation.
Go ahead.
And as for his judgments, they have not known them.
So, does that answer your question? They came. So now let's go back to what your question was. Then let's actually get an understanding of what is being said in verse 35, right? So it said the word God, Salakia, but in every nation, he that feareth him and worketh righteousness is accepted with him. What does it mean then when it says, but in every nation? So now make that make sense. Or is that a contradiction?
Would that be because we're scattered amongst all the nations?
Okay.
And we starting to act and do the things they do, so that makes us basically Gentiles.
Okay.
So it's saying every nation, as long as you come back to your God, He will accept you if you're keeping His law, statutes, and commandments.
We can make it a lot simpler by just saying the fact that we are in the nations. It doesn't say that all of it. It doesn't say. It says, but in every nation, he that feareth him. So in the nations, because we all know that at the end of the day, the other nations aren't going to fear the Most High. Let alone do they even have the opportunity to be righteous in the first place. Because first of all, what does a heathen have to do to even begin to show that they are not only just sorry for the atrocities that him and his people have committed against us, but what would basically be the next step? So first they should show that they're sorry, but then after that they have to, to be basically righteous from then. First, you got to be sorry first. And what do you have to do to show that you're sorry? You got to come lick the dust up from the bottom of my boot. Or in other words, a boot kiss. Give us a boot kiss. Then to show that you're genuinely sorry, empty out all your riches. Go to your bank, withdraw every single penny out of your bank account and dump it into the treasury of the ISUPK under Commander General Yohana. All of your riches, all of your wealth, all of your belongings, because let's all understand that you only have these things because of the oppression that you have the oppression that you have committed on the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, right? Now, name me one white man that you know that would do that. Name me a white woman that would do that. Now, we've seen on videos, they'll actually get on their hands and knees, put their nose to the ground and kiss our boots. Okay, hey. And we applaud them. We applaud them. Great humility. But I want to see how truly sorry you are, because you oppressed us generations. Our children are suffering from the repercussions of what has happened over the last 400 years, 500 years. And what are you going to do in this lifetime to make green on that? Just a boot kiss? Okay, hey, maybe the Most High will give you mercy. Maybe. But we all know that at the end of the day, only the righteous, only those that can repent, that do repent, only those that have the ability to change their ways are really the only ones who have the ability to be righteous. Pull for me real quick. Just as iron rusteth, so does his wickedness. Read that for me real quick. Hey, Shalom, little Christ, sis. Good to see you in class.
It's the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12 and verse number 10. Never trust thine enemy. Never trust thine enemy. Go ahead. For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Just like how iron rusteth, so does his wickedness. What does that say right there? What is being said right there? So first of all, it starts off with you should never trust your enemy, right? Because just like iron rusteth, so does his wickedness. What is being said right there? The same way we know that iron is going to rust no matter what, they're always going to be wicked as hell. That wickedness is always going to show forth. Because you know what makes iron rust, right? Something that you can never remove, because you remove oxygen and water. Water kind of just amplifies it, but it's oxygen mostly. Water just amplifies it even further to cause the rusting effect, at an accelerated rate. That oxygen is going to make
And mind you, that's the funny thing. Everybody needs oxygen.
Right.
Everything needs oxygen.
Right. So
that your enemy who's wicked as hell, that oxygen is going to bring forth his wickedness. True. Just think about it. Just think about it. The scripture is telling you, is warning you. Do not trust your enemy, because you know what? They might be good to your face. They might be kind to you, this, that, and the other. But and this is always the kicker to it, of all of it. It's always a good white man. You know what? No, he one of the good ones, until for the most part they find out what you believe in. Then all of a sudden they're a totally different person. They don't, now you all type of N-words and wetback. You a nigger, you a wetback, you a beaner, you a savage, you all types of bywords. Whether it's to your face, behind your back, you a cultist, you all these bywords, because you separate yourself from him. Right. But what did you allow to happen? That separation created air. What comes with that air? There's oxygen. That oxygen just brought forth his wickedness. That sounded like some blackity black nonsense, didn't it? but you get what I'm saying? Once you separate, then all of a sudden that wickedness comes forward. Right? So, make sure we stay on track now. Right? Because I know I'll be sidetracking. I know. It's a disease that I suffer from. It's sidetrackinitis, So verse 35, but in every nation, he that feareth him and worketh righteousness is accepted with him. We're in all of those nations. We're scattered, just like what you said earlier. We're scattered to the four corners of the earth. We don't have, how do you say, what's the word? We don't have a claim to our nation yet, because we're a broken nation. Right. You understand? We are a divided nation right now. So we are within the other nations. You understand? But those within those other nations that feareth him and worketh righteousness is accepted of him. You understand? So always remember, this is how I like to explain it this is how I like to think about it for myself. When I was a young man, first learning, building up my foundation of the truth, when I'm like, yo, this seems like a contradiction, because you got to remember, there are no contradictions in the Bible. You just haven't been taught yet. You understand? So when I was having my foundation being built, I think I talked to you about it before, where it's a life rail. I hold on to the life rail. The life rail is understanding that even though it might sound like you're talking about the other nations, the life rail always brings you back to the foundation of this book is for niggas. This book is for beaners. This book is for savages, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and indigenous peoples. You understand? So when you come across a scripture like that, where it's like, ooh, just remember, and never feel ashamed to ask for clarity, but just don't allow yourself to don't allow a demon to step on you, because this trips you up on something that is a lot, and I can see why, that's something that would trip somebody up. If you're not grounded, if you don't have a foundation in the truth, I can see why that would trip you up. I can see a Christian like, okay, hold on, John 3:16, you want to talk about priest upon priest, line upon line, here a little, there a little, let's go to Acts 10 and 35. So what is this talking about? I'm like, oh, okay. You ain't saying nothing I ain't heard before. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because shit, you read the beginning of John 3, and then we can still come back this way. At the end of the day, it's still talking about Israel. You know what I'm saying? But of course, we're going to go even further into that because of the topic, right? So did I answer that question? You have an understanding? If anybody has any further questions online, feel free to post it in the chat. Do you have any other questions?
Colossians chapter 2, verse 16.
Colossians. What would you say?
Colossians chapter 2, verse 16.
Colossians 2 and 16. Let me get there. I would get on my phone, but every time I leave the damn page, my freaking notes reset. Bible is all old, I should say. Hold on, Salaki. Go ahead and read it when you got it, so we ain't got to hold up the class.
This is Colossians chapter 2 and verse number 16.
Uh-huh.
Let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink or in respect of holy days or of the new moon or of the Sabbath days. Now I bring this up because, before I, came to the home of the truth, somebody hit me with this and said that I can't tell them that what type of meat they can't eat, or they can't keep the Sabbath days, or I shouldn't tell them to keep the holy days because it tells them don't judge them. And I just wanted to make sure this is what that's talking about or not talking about.
Okay, read that again from the top.
The book of Colossians chapter 2 and verse number 16. Let no man therefore judge you in meat,
okay,
or in drink, or in respect of an holy day, or of the new moon, or of the Sabbath days.
Okay, which are a shadow of things to come, but the body is of Christ. Okay, let's see. All right. So, and you said somebody brought this to you and said that you can't tell them when to.
I can't tell them that they don't need to keep the Sabbath, that they can eat pork, that they don't have to keep the holy days because it says don't judge them in it.
Okay, but all right. So, hold on, Salaki. Check my email. Oh, he sent it to my email. Hold on, Salaki. Let me make sure I got this situated from Shabal. Okay, so you got to remember, this is saying, let no man judge, therefore judge you in meat, or in drink, or in respect of an holy day, or the new moon, or the Sabbath days. So don't let nobody judge you while you're keeping it. While you are not partaking in the lamb, you're not partaking in the pork, you're not partaking in the unclean meats, while you're not partaking in the unclean holidays because you are keeping the high holy days, you are eating of the lamb. Because you also have like some people that are vegan, vegetarians, and stuff like that. It's not unlawful to be those things, but there is a time of year where it doesn't F your diet. It doesn't matter. The law says you need to eat this lamb. The Passover. You understand? April 20th, 2024. Be there or be square. Raleigh, North Carolina. Right? Make sure that y'all contact your respective camp leaders if you have not done so already to get information on that, or go to ISUPK.com so that you pay your Passover fees. $200 for anybody that is 18 and up, right? So back to your question, Salaki, a little plug real quick. So like, it's basically like, don't be worried about anybody else judging you for what the hell that you doing. When you are doing what you were commanded to do, don't be worried about what what anybody else judges you, because that judgment it don't mean nothing. You understand? Because mind you, if you keeping the Sabbath or Salaki, so wait, okay, re-say what his allegation was, or whatever nonsense that he said again.
Basically, I can't judge him for eating pork, or for not keeping the holy days, or for not keeping the Sabbath.
Okay, pull for me Judge Righteous Judgment.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse number 15.
Mm-hmm.
You shall do no unrighteous in judgment. Thou shalt not respect the person of the poor, nor honor the person of the mighty, but in righteousness shalt thou judge thy neighbor.
Now pull for me the one that who says it in the New Testament? Pull it in the New Testament. And I want you to tell me who said this as well.
The book of St. John, chapter 7 and verse number 24.
Mm-hmm.
Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment.
But what?
But judge righteous judgment.
So isn't it your right according to the law to have the Sabbath? What is the Sabbath? What is the Sabbath for?
Rest.
For whom?
For the so-called blacks and native indigenous. This is the Sabbath was made for man, for everybody. So, and like even in the kingdom, during the time where we will be enslaving the other nations, they will have a day off. They will have a day, and it's going to be on the Sabbath. So, in other words, they're going to be treated better than we were treated. We didn't get a day off. You got your ass beat if you thought about it. You understand? You get a day off. Judge righteous judgment. So what does the law say about eating pork? It's an abomination unto you, right? You're not to touch the corpse of a swine. It is an abomination unto you. You're not even supposed to touch the corpse. It makes you unclean. But you're going to eat it, then have the audacity to say, I can't tell you what, I can't tell you, you can't eat it? What? Judge righteous judgment. Who said that, by the way? Mashiach said that.
Who?
Mashiach.
So it's written in red, right? So are we arguing with the king? Are we trying to debate with the king and create our own doctrine? What are we doing now? Like, see, there was a reason why I said, I want you to tell me who said that. The Yahushua Mashiach, our king, or Jesus Christ in the English, as everybody else knows him ignorantly as, he said to judge righteous judgment. Don't be worried about how somebody get down is. Don't be worried about how they dress. No, judge righteously. Judge righteous judgment. Are you following the law? Are you offending the law? That's how you judge somebody. You understand? So let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink or in respect of a holy day or of the new moon or of the Sabbath days. These are the things that we kept. Right here is referring to the things that we keep. Don't let nobody judge you on these things, these righteous things that you're already doing. Don't be worried about their judgment. I see you. Continue being obedient. You understand? Did you have more on that, or?
Now that we went back to Colossians 2:16, I looked up at verse 8, and now it's starting to make even more sense.
Go ahead and read verse 8.
Verse 8 says, "Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit."
Through philosophy and what?
Vain deceit.
Give me an example of philosophy and vain deceit.
Basically, like just telling you lies, telling you their own understanding instead of what Christ said.
Okay, you can say that, but I want you to think a little bit more. Like, think of the philosophy and vain deceit is 2 in 1. It'll give you one thing in specific. So be a little bit more specific with your answer. So, because you're right, you said where somebody is basically leaning on their own understanding to tell you what Christ said, but give me something more specific. and start with the first word, philosophy.
I'm gonna look that word up.
No sweat. No, hey, go ahead. That's exactly what you should do. If you're unsure of what a word is, man, don't be sure, make sure. You understand? If you just don't know what something is, man, ask or look it up. You understand? That is so important for y'all, you know, those of y'all that are watching online. You understand? Like y'all, and I feel like a lot of people most people, and everybody knows this from, you know, especially if you're in the public school system, like, you know, how I grew up, right? Everybody is so afraid of being that one person that raises their hand to ask a question because everybody gonna laugh at them because you got to be a dummy one time with each question. You gonna laugh at me, but nigga, you wanted to know too. You didn't know the answer either. I was just brave enough. I had enough courage to raise my hand and ask. My father raised me on that, like Salakia. That's why you can ask anybody who actually knows me. Like, I'm the goofy, like, it don't matter how ridiculous the question is. If I want to know, I'm going to ask. Like, that's just my personality, Salakia. It's embedded in my personality. Salakia, did you found that?
So it's basically saying don't let a man just give you any type of knowledge and wisdom without understanding it or doing your own research on it.
Okay, but like give me something like more specific though. Because like I understand that, but something like think about something more specific. Because okay, here, I'm gonna help you out. So a lifestyle is considered a philosophy. So like what kind of lifestyles would you say would be a vain deceit? You understand what vain deceit is, right? So vain is something done in vain or vanity is pointless. And then deceit, as we know, is, you know, the beguile. Yeah, a lie, right? So the philosophy, though, the lie comes through the philosophy. What would be an example of a philosophy or a lifestyle? A belief system.
Gangbanging.
Okay, I'll take gangbanging. That's a good one. Can you give me more, though? Because gangbanging isn't as influential to the masses as some of the other examples that I would name. But that's a good start, though, is gangbanging.
College.
That's an excellent step up because that's indoctrination. A lot of that is indoctrination, especially with today's, you know, college courses where they're like, what was that class that I just recently took? It was a sociology class, and we had to do a report on just basically like what feminism started off as to what it is today. And, you know, like we also were able to read everybody's, you know, their papers and stuff like that. And the majority of everybody was like on some, you know, feminism has just gotten stronger. And of course, these are all like females, you know, they sisters, they devils, you know what I'm saying? Like all the females was uniting on this. You know, feminism is just, you know, it's becoming stronger. It started off with, you know, just the fact that we wanted equal pay and woo, but now we're actually, you know, attaining like more rights and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, y'all bitches, dumb. Y'all is dumb. So why? Y'all dumb as hell. It's like, would the Christian church pertain to your question? Exactly, kind of, sis. So that's actually where I wanted to go with that, right? You can use Christianity as a philosophy. Muslim is a philosophy. Hinduism, it's any lifestyle. Mormonism, Buddhism, any of those African booty scratching ass, blood sucking, you know what I'm saying, tribal, those are all philosophies. Because basically what a philosophy is just, it's something that, you know, it's more or less a moral lifestyle on whatever moral compass, but it's that moral lifestyle according to pertaining to like certain laws and morals of which a group, you know, agrees on. You understand? Like, so because you can have a religious philosophy like Christianity, you can have like Confucianism, which the Chinese had. That comes from Confucius, some Chinese dude from like thousands of years ago BC. His name was Confucius, and he was an atheist, but he had like the laws of which they should, you know, China should be, you know, our people should be governed by, basically. And it was, you know, it's stupid. It failed. You know what I'm saying? They're still atheists, and actually they still follow some of those Confucius philosophies, but you understand, it's just laws. Like our philosophy is the law, statutes, and commandments. That's our philosophy. Does that make sense? All right, so go ahead and read that again from the top, verse 8.
This is Colossians chapter 2, verse number 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophies and vain deceit.
Now, does that make a little bit more sense when you say to be spoiled in that philosophy and vain deceit?
Right. Because
all philosophies outside of the truth it's vain deceit. It's pointless lies, meaningless lies. All right, go ahead and read on.
After the traditions of men.
Now, mind you as well, these are things that are made and created by men. You understand? Because somebody fell out of the tree that was super duper tall. You know, he was trying to get some bird eggs out of some eagle eggs because he wanted to get eagle powers. And, you know, he fell, and on his way down, a branch caught him by the collar of his shirt. And so now he's worshiping that tree because the tree saved his life. Like, you see how these things kind of like manifest, it's stupid things like that. You understand? Go ahead and read on.
After the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ.
So the rudiments, do you know what that word means? Let's look it up. Right here it says or elements, but you know, within the Bible, I don't know if your Bible gives you like brief descriptions, but I still want us to look that up, what rudiment is.
The first principles of a subject, an undeveloped or immature part or organ, especially a structure in an embroidery or a larva.
Okay, I can see how that fits. Is there another definition? I can see how that fits, though. I'm just trying to think because right here it says or elements. It says rudiments are elements. You can replace rudiment with elements. Oh, wait, hold on. Read that again.
It says the first principles of a subject, an undeveloped or immature part or organ, especially a structure in an embryo or a larva, which will develop into an organ, limb, etc.
Okay, so it's like basic, like in layman's terms, like saying like the very foundation, like the very beginning. So after the rudiments of the world, like the very beginning of the world, like take for example when we were all first, like in the book of Genesis, Genesis 1:26, when the masses of people were created up until, you know, the Most High selected Adam amongst all the people, right? Basically, we were at the very foundation of mankind, and we were making our own shit up. Because again, it was something like where, oh, I fell from a tree and the tree reached out with a branch and saved my life, and clearly we need to worship this tree type. You know what I'm saying? Something ridiculous like that. You get what I'm saying? But Was that it? That you only wanted to bring out verse 8, or did you want to? Did you need to continue from there?
Oh no, I just saw that and it made 16 make more sense.
Right. So you do get what I'm saying then. So it's like while they're over there doing, they're caught up in their vain philosophy, their vain deceit. Man, don't let them judge you while you're partaking in the wine and the lamb and the wine and the unleavened bread during Passover. Don't worry about that. You do what you're supposed to be doing. You understand? It all comes back around to, like the Most High never wanted us to even look at the other nations in the first place. You know what I'm saying? We want them to look at us. We should never look at the other nations and think, oh, though that's a wise and honorable nation. Like, no, it's supposed to be the other way around. You get what I'm saying? Because never should you look at a nation and be like, damn, these motherfuckers, they eating that? Right. Oh, that's a wise and honorable nation. While, in the meantime, that's also a nation of people where, sexual assault is somewhat the highest in China. Well, actually in Japan is the highest in the world, I believe. I know it's in the top 5 for sure. In the top 3 for sure. Like Japan is terrible about that. They got great technology. Don't get me wrong. But then again, when your economy is completely devoted to your economy, or your economy is devoted to your technology, Salakia, because you're not allowed to build a military, you should have great technology, right? And then on top, but in the meantime, like, man, they're terrible, terrible, wicked people to their women. Like, it's a very common occurrence for them to be on the subway, and if a man sees a woman that is like, he finds her attractive, I think they all look the same, so they weird looking to me. They'll walk up to her and start like dry grinding her, and there's not much that she can do. There's not much that she can do. They're relying on the United States to help them with that because they don't see anything wrong with that. So, like, just quick little, side fact note, whatever the hell you want to, call it. So, but you understand that now, right? All right. Did you have any more questions?
Zechariah chapter 12, verse 8.
Zechariah 12 and 8.
I just wanted to get a breakdown on that because it sounds, when I read it, it looks like, people that are going to be, afraid in that day. It sounds like the Lord is going to give them the spirit of David to be able to not feel that way. So I'm going to read it.
Yeah, go ahead and read it.
It says, Zechariah chapter 12, verse 8. In that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitations of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as God, as the angel of the Lord before them.
Okay. So your question was again about that?
In that day, when it's time for, whatever this time is coming to, it sounds like the people who aren't going to have that type of, heart, I guess I would say heart. The Lord's going to put, it sounds like the Lord's going to put the spirit of David on them so they don't have to think about that.
And what do you think the spirit of David is that it's referring to?
When it came to the other nations, he didn't give a damn. He just, if they disrespected him or if they were doing something that they weren't supposed to do, he put them to death.
Okay. But it's saying in he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David. Right. So what is that referring to?
In that day?
Yeah. And that day, if they're do you know what the word feeble means?
Like scared?
No. There you go. Weak, small, right? So, and it shall pass in that day. Oh, whoops.
Lacking physical strength.
What is the you said 12 and what again? 10?
12 and 8.
Oh, 12 and 8. I was reading 9 and 10. In that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David. So you got weak, you got small. What else?
Lacking physical strength.
Okay, so pretty much weak, right? Let me get this.
Especially as a result of age or illness.
So those people will be like David, will be like unto David, right? It says, and that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David. What is David? What is that referring to? What is that comparison?
David was a mighty warrior.
He was a mighty warrior. Mind you, you're talking about people who are weak. But in what comparison, though, are they weak? In what comparison are they weak? Are they small? And what compared to what? Mind you, your hint is within the verse.
In the day, so I'm thinking.
Sis, you're right. Meaning weak. You're right.
The time of Jacob's trouble.
No. Think about it. Who are okay? I don't want to give you too much. I want you to come around to it yourself. Understand that those that are that are looked at as feeble is like how at a time David was looked at as feeble. Now use that same comparison. Like you should basically be able to walk side by side with it. Because you understand, you said earlier that you understood that King David was, he was a powerful ass king. Like, oh no, you against my people? Boy, I'll cut your, you know what I'm saying? You done. I'm gonna kill you. But remember, he didn't have that power always. He didn't have that say so always. He grew into that position.
Oh wow.
Simple story. Everybody knows this story. That's my last hint. Everybody knows this story. They damn near use this story in comparison to sports.
David and Goliath.
So think about that comparison. Who in that day, who are the feeble being compared to? That they will be as like David.
The feeble that in that day was everybody else that was scared of this big God, but David wasn't.
No. Okay, so I'm saying like today, our feeble today, right? Who will they become like David up against?
Our oppressors.
Yeah, our oppressors, the other nations. Exactly. Because they'll be in a position of like think of it like this. America has a ridiculous military, right? We don't even have land. Right. Nigga, we don't even got a flag. Without the ISUPK, we damn near don't even got a banner. Right. But yet, there will be a day where even the most the feeble amongst us will be like unto David against a nation like America. Because we will be the ones who take out America. We will be the ones. We will, on a larger scale, be David and a Goliath. And Goliath is all these other nations. You understand? Verse 8, in that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as God. You understand what that's saying, right?
The house of David should be as God.
Yeah.
And the house of David shall be as God.
The house of David shall be as God.
The angels?
The angels.
Let me see. And the house of David shall be as God. Rulers, judges, divine ones.
What are you looking up?
Blue letter.
Okay.
It's the outline of biblical usages. The true God.
The house of David, we will be the ruling house, just for time's sake. All right. Because you got to also think, Yahushua Mashiach, the son of King David, is going to sit on his throne. You understand? And the house of David shall be as God, as the angel of the Lord before them. So what does that say? The angel of the Lord before us. We'll have command of those angels. Yahushua is going to have command of those angels here on earth. You understand that, right? So does that make sense though? Do you understand that verse? I answer your question. All right, Most High Christ. Did you have any more questions?
Amos chapter 5, verse 21.
Amos 5 and 21. All right, go ahead and read it when you got it.
We look at Amos chapter 5, verse 21. It says, I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. So is this talking about like a lot of our people that's keeping these holidays, or is this talking about Israelites who is not taking the Most High serious, and then you come to these feast days and he's telling you straight up and down, I'm not worried about that because you're not even serious about me.
Okay, say the first part again. I understood the second part. I think I got a little bit lost in the first. Say the first part again.
It's just talking about our people that don't even understand the truth, and they're out here celebrating all these different holidays. And they're telling the Lord, "Oh, thank you for Christmas and
okay.
the food that they have."
Okay, or is this referring to like that one video where the brother was like gave a whole shalom salute, and then oh, this is our Thanksgiving dinner, but it's not Thanksgiving, and then had all that pork and shit like that's what you talking about? Okay, it's both. It's both. You understand? Now, why is it both though?
Because at the end of the day, that brother that was supposed to be in the truth is literally sinning against the Most High God by having pork, celebrating wicked days, and just doing the most things that the Most High tell him not to do. So of course the Lord's gonna say, I hate that. Like, you think that's something I want from you? Mm-hmm. And the other reason is because we ain't supposed to be celebrating none of these wicked pagan holidays. We're supposed to be keeping the high holy days. So if you're trying to come to me and say, bless this food and thank you for Christmas, the Lord ain't trying to hear none of that.
Right.
You want you to be obedient to him.
No, right. Go back to what was that? Acts, was it 10? No, it wasn't Acts 10. Was it Colossians that we were just in?
2:16.
But go to verse 8. Read that again.
It's the book of Colossians, chapter 2, verse 8.
Uh-huh.
Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
Now we already understand that part, right? Now, mind you, what comes along with philosophies and vain deceit? They all have some sort of, celebration. Because everybody knows we need, man, listen, people need reason to fucking party. So like it for my language, but we all need reason to party. We all want to party from time to time, let loose, whether it's so that we can find a husband or a wife, whether it's just to, just let our hair down and just kind of just kick it, have a couple of drinks so we can come together with our people, right? And that's people across the globe. That's not just centralized to just Israel. You understand? That's everybody included. You understand? Because I can't even think of a single philosophy, religion, spiritual practice, whatever, where they don't have some sort of how do you say, like some sort of celebration of something where they get the party. Quite frankly, we got the best parties. I'm just saying. But anyways, you get what I'm saying? Go ahead and read on.
After the traditions of men.
So now these are after the traditions of men. So you stay right there, and I'm going to read this. Amos 5:21. I despise your feast days. Your feast days. Who are the feast days it's referring to? Who is the your? Who does that belong to? Who do the feast days belong to? No. I mean, yes, but no. Read on.
After the rudiments of the world,
and
not after Christ.
Wait, hold on. Read a little bit before rudiments of the world.
After the traditions of men.
After the traditions of who?
Men.
The traditions of who?
Men.
Christmas is after who?
Men.
Easter is after who?
Men.
All of these doggone holidays that are being celebrated outside of what is being written in this Bible is after who?
Men.
So the your in Amos 5:21, where it says, I despise your feast days. Whose feast days is the Most High referring to?
Men.
Exactly. So does that make sense now? So anything that was man-made, as far as the customary ways of philosophy, where it's okay, we need to celebrate the first moon, or we got to celebrate this moon cycle, this sunrise, this star constellation, this the winter solstice, the summer solstice, you get what I'm saying? Christmas, Easter, all of these things. These are things that man came up with. And how do you know that man came up with it? It's not in the scriptures. The Most High didn't tell us to do it. Simple as that. Cut and dry. So if it's not what the Most High told us, commanded us to do, that was created by man. This is what you came up with to appease your lusts. You get what I'm saying? Salaki, just like Mardi Gras coming up in New Orleans. Salaki said, I'm not too hip to like what exactly Mardi Gras is. The only thing I know about Mardi Gras is how the women get their beads, and aside from that, like I don't, me being, I Salaki, like that's the only. I've never been to New Orleans, let alone to Mardi Gras, so I'm not even sure what like Mardi Gras is about. So I can't really say. But to the point of what like this verse what we brought out in Amos 5:21, like trust me, it's against the Most High. Okay, hey, I'll take your word for it. But what I will say is y'all got to remember this though. for example, all right, of course we understand we're not supposed to do an annual, actually, we're not supposed to partake in things like Christmas, right? It's an annual thing. It's a time to have that, this, and the other. But don't think that, there's anything wrong for a man to be like, hey, hey, little mama, a year ago today, 20 years ago from today, we do this every single year. I take you out. There's nothing wrong for doing an anniversary. A little small tradition with your rip. There's nothing wrong with like little traditions like that. Okay. I need y'all to understand that as well. All right. There's nothing wrong with you doing those things. It's right here. What we're referring to is something more along the lines of what we do as a nation where, you go to worship it because take, for example, let's say tomorrow would be I don't know. Some people is weirdos. It's my 3-week anniversary. So I gotta do something nice and special for my wife. Like, let's just say that you on a weekly anniversary type ordeal. Hey man, first things first, set me up with that job that you got where you could do a weekly anniversary to take care of your girl, because I ain't trying to do that part, but I do want that money. You know what I'm saying? But you get what I'm saying? Like, but there's nothing wrong with you doing that. There's nothing wrong with you doing an annual thing. There's nothing wrong with you going out of your way to make your girl feel special. If you that type of brother, because for y'all sisters out there that's watching, y'all gotta remember always the type of brother that you're dealing with. Like, don't try to make a brother, you know what I'm saying? Like, do something. Like, if he's not that type of dude to do gifts, he's not the type of dude to remember dates like that. Like, don't hold that nonsense against them. Cause then what is it that becomes? What is it that you are doing? Okay, something deeper than an argument, though. It's something bigger than that.
Becomes another worship.
It's another form of worship. Now it's a doggone worship. Because think of it like this. Somebody misses the Passover without a legitimate excuse, like a legitimate reason to miss the Passover. What happens? There's consequences, right? There's an issue. You get shunned. You might get fined. Hell, in certain circumstances, you get cut the hell off. That is the law. You miss Passover, you get cut off from the nation. You understand? Now, let me ask you this. In the world, right? In the world, what happens if you if you forget your girl's birthday, if you forget Valentine's Day, to get her something for Valentine's Day? What happens? Or her birthday? What happens? Or the anniversary? What happens? She gets mad, but she shuns you. Because in the world, what is Valentine's Day, her birthday, and the anniversary? What is it to her?
The most special day ever.
But give me more. Bring it all the way home, though. What is it, though?
It's like a law to her.
But you like right there, like, God, come on, man, like you right there. To her, it's love. Okay, like the both of you. Okay. Oh man, it's almost like I want to pull my hair out because like y'all right there. Because to everything that y'all have said already, I can pull scriptures to like. Y'all are paraphrasing scriptures that goes with what the actual answer is to prove. But when I tell y'all the answer, you're like, oh, that's gonna be one of them face palming moments. Do you need to go get some water? Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead. No, you. Hold. There it is. Right there. The sister said you're idolizing her. It's idolization. Now, sis. What is idolization, though? Now, hold on. Let me give you a hand real quick. Most High Christ. I was really I was about to leave looking like that Barbie off of Toy Soldiers with, the hair pulled out, just patches of hair, man. Y'all was so around the corner and it was frustrating. Like I wanted y'all to get there, but you got there. Most High Christ. You saved my head full of hair, man. Wow. My rib thanks you as well. She loves my hair. But so what ultimately is idolization? And of course, think about what we're reading here in the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 21. And I'll read that again for you out loud, right? So the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 21, I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies, right? Putting her above the Most High in Christ, law, statutes, and commandments. So it's, exactly. It's putting her above the Most High God. You understand? Putting her at least equal to, if not in front of, or before the Most High. You understand? So whatever it is that you are doing to, like, because again, we go back to that example that I said earlier where, there's consequences for you missing high holy days without a legitimate excuse. You understand? Like there's certain circumstances, like if you are too ill to travel, I believe there is something with pregnancies, if I'm not mistaken, because I know like Joseph and Mary, they was on their way to Passover while Mary was pregnant with Yahushai. She was pregnant, and then in the mid, like on the way there, she had the baby. She had Yahushai. You understand? But they was going to the Passover. So like, I'm not 100% sure on the whole pregnancy thing, this, that, and the other. That actually, where is my pen? I'm actually going to ask. Reasons to not make Passover. So I'm actually going to ask that, and I might start my class next week with Lord allowed next week with that answer to that question. But when I teach my next class, I'm gonna open up with that question, reasons that you can't make the Passover that is, accepted by the Most High. You understand? We'll go down through that list, right? Salakia. But there's certain reasons. There are certain excuses that you may have to not go, right? But yet, don't you forget my birthday. Don't you forget Valentine's Day. Don't you forget the times that you got to get something from me. Don't forget the times that you got to do something special for me. But it's okay. You miss Passover. You don't know about the Lord's days. You wasn't knowledgeable on this, that, and the other. But as soon as you and the woman declare that, hey, man, we a thing. Yeah, okay. Well, make sure that you engrave this in your hand with a knife. With a matter of fact, F that, with a machete, engrave my birthday, the countdown to Christmas, the countdown to Valentine's Day, any day that you got to do what? Put me on a pedestal where you got to spoil me. Don't you forget it. Like the sister said, let me put it up one more time. You are idolizing her. You are making her a god. So anytime that you idolize anything outside of the Most High, when it becomes an idolization thing, that's what the Most High don't mess with. You understand? That's what verse 21 is talking about. I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. But mind you, is there anything wrong with you? Hey, we're gonna go what you gonna call it? Anniversary. We're gonna do an anniversary dinner. Is there anything wrong with that? No. But y'all do realize that some of the high holy days, the feast days, we don't do it on the exact day. There's actually a window to do it, and we complete it within the window. So if we got an anniversary together, and I don't do anything for you that exact day, but let's just say I do it like a couple days before or a couple days after, because we all understand that we are being oppressed right now. We can't just do up and go and do what we want as soon as we want. You understand? But I do find the time that, hey, you know what? I'm able to do it now. I can take you out, little mama, where it doesn't hurt my wallet for the next time I got to do something goofy for you because you were goofy. It's like, no, I do not have these problems, by the way. That is not a personal attack on anybody. Just had to get in character, just so that everybody can understand that. For the brothers out there that do have to suffer that, you understand, I put on that persona for them, so that for you sisters that are watching, like, oh, you know what? Okay, I see what he's saying. Hold on. She said, damn that. Keep the high holy days, pay tithes, pay our bills, show real brotherhood and sisterhood, and get this kina. I can cook a nice dinner at home and chill. Shit. Hey, most high in Christ, sister. Now get a sister in hand, man. That's an excellent sister right there. You understand? I'm just saying, just for everybody else to understand, there's nothing wrong with having an anniversary. There's nothing wrong with doing little things. But when you go to worship it, that's where the issue lies. You understand? Where it's a thing where if you miss it, now there's consequences. You're worshiping it. You understand? And if you worshiping anything outside what the Most High had commanded us to do, then you giving the finger to the Most High and say, I'm doing my own thing, right? So you understand that? You have any other questions? Hey, Most High in Christ, keep them coming.
This is Daniel chapter 10 and verse number 6.
I would have liked for you to tell me where we was going first, but hey, you twice, right? So you said Daniel what?
Daniel chapter 10 verse 6.
10 and 6. So the book of Daniel chapter 10 verse 6. Go ahead and read it when you got it, Baba Bashar.
The book of Daniel chapter 10 verse 6.
His
body also was like the burrow, and his face as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as lamps of fire, and his arms and his feet like in color to polished brass, and the voice of his words like the voice of a multitude. So I'm trying to figure out who is this describing.
Who you think?
I don't know.
No idea.
Because I read from the top, and I'm just like, I don't know.
Okay, this right here is talking about what verse was that again?
Daniel 10 and 6.
10 and 6. This one is okay. Let me be sure on this one, because I believe I know who this is, but I don't want to say the wrong thing. Actually, I might be able to look at my notes really quick and tell you. It might already be there. Of course. 10 and 6. I should have a search button, right? No. All right. Stand by, y'all. Salakia. Because that's actually a really good question right there. And I believe I have the answer. I just want to make sure I do have the correct answer. Let me just find it in my notes. I'm trying to find the topic. Hold on. Where is color in the color? And also, for those of y'all that are watching online, feel free to, if you have any questions, whether it's on topic, off topic, obviously, we haven't got to my topic yet, so lucky. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But if y'all have any questions, feel free to post them in the chat, though. And I'll get to them as well. Whether, if it's already something we're talking about or you have just an entire new question. Slovakia. I can't. Is it not there no more? What happened to it? Okay, so I can't find it right now. So I'm going to take that question actually to, I'm going to get that answered for you. All right. I already wrote it down. Yeah. So I'll get that answer for you as soon as possible. This is my only question since you are out here. Do you want me to go over it in class when I get the answer, or as soon as I get it, do you want me to give it to you?
As soon as you get it.
Okay. All right, no sweat. So yeah, we'll do that then. Do you have any other questions aside from that one? No, that's it?
That's it.
All right. Let's give the Lord a hand. Man, I only get 40 minutes to teach my topic now that, I'm just playing. All right, so now we're going to get into my topic, which is salvation is for one people. And like we went over earlier, that one people only being the Israelites, the biblical Israelites, or the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the people of antiquity of the Bible, the 12 lost tribes of Israel. You understand? We're going to start off at the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 11 and verse 13. When the brother finds his lungs, we'll get that reading. You too wild, though?
God. All right. It's the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 11 and verse number 13.
Uh-huh.
And Saul said, there shall not a man be put to death this day.
Uh-huh.
For today the Lord had wrought salvation in Israel.
So now when there is a day that the Most High sees it fit to have salvation for Israel, you understand? We're not going to be put to death. You understand? And of course, now understand that's not necessarily, oh, I'm an Israelite by blood. I can act wild even up to the day of salvation, right? Because first of all, you can be killed before then. But also, what also do we know about those that do not follow the law? So, how is it that we view those that don't follow the law that are Israelites? How do we view them?
As sinners.
Okay, but now, not necessarily just as sinners, but think about like those that refuse to change. Like, for example, we'll go from here, right? where Yahushua, and we ain't got to pull it, but Yahushua had told us, pretty much commanded us that if you have an ought with a brother, go to him, go in him alone. Let him know what your odd is, so that you can gain your brother. But if that brother does not want to hear thee, then take 2 or 3 witnesses. Mm-hmm. And if he doesn't want to hear the witnesses, exactly. Say it with a little bit less, say it with confidence. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. Heathens. Was that Shalimar? No, answer. No, you too wild. He might be outside.
Shalom, brother Christ.
Yeah, he outside. No. No. You too wild. So like y'all, I'll be right back. I'll talk to you about that after class. So like, y'all. Here you go, sir. Oh shit. So like, you got I know you got that. We got this as well if you want it. That's on you. Yeah, kind. Salaki. Where was I? Salaki?
You were saying how verse 13, how basically does that mean that anybody who is just being, doing what they want to do, are they gonna be, what are they considered?
Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So now we come back to the heathens, right? So yeah, you get looked at as that's where I was, Salaki. So you take the 2, you go to basically counsel with the 2 or 3 as witnesses, and then from there, you know what I'm saying? If that brother still doesn't want to hear him, then you go to the council in front of everybody. The whole church is what Yahushua has said, but that's basically the generals. You understand? And if you don't want to hear the generals, what did Yahushua say that you would be counted as? And a publican, a politician, basically. You understand? But you would be counted as a heathen. So, because ultimately, what is it that you are ignoring?
Correction.
Okay, correction. But there's something, correction is under this umbrella. And that's the hint that I'm going to give you.
You're ignoring Christ.
Okay, you are ignoring Christ. You are ignoring the Most High. But the Most High and Christ gives you this umbrella that engulfs all of it, sir.
The law.
Okay, yes, but there's something in specific. The law of what, though?
The law of God.
The law of brotherhood is where I want to go.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, y'all are right, but I just want to go with the brotherhood. You understand? Because Salaki, where was that? 13, right? Saul said, there shall not be a man put to death to this day, for today the Lord hath wrought salvation in Israel. And like I was saying, like what I was bringing out was, you're only going to be considered actually Israel if you are not only just the blood, you have that blood right, but you're also following the law.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? We got any questions on that?
No.
Sir, did you want to add anything? I know you just stepped in.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Rob.
All right, Most High Christ. So now let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 14 and verse 7.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 14 and verse 7. Oh, that the salvation of Israel were come out of Zion, when the Lord bringeth back the captivity of his people. Jacob shall rejoice, and Israel shall be glad.
Now, so what's the first thing that needs to stand out in this verse?
Salvation of Israel.
Salvation of who?
Israel.
So salvation is for who?
Israel.
Israel. Right? But now we also need to get an understanding of this as well, right? Break that down for me, young man. The whole verse. Break down that whole line, line by line. No sweat. Hey, if you can't, you just like we talked about before class. And let me ask you this real quick. We'll start with the first line. Oh, that the salvation of Israel were come out of Zion. Do you understand what Zion is scripturally?
Zion is another name that the Lord calls?
No.
It's a place in Jerusalem.
Sir, do you want to help him out with that?
Go ahead.
So Zion, you got to think of it like this, right? You have, for like the Greeks, they got Mount Olympus. Whereas are you familiar with the Greek mythology? Okay, so like Mount Olympus was where all of the gods dwelt, right? You got Zeus, and that's really like the main one that I know. I know Zeus and Kratos in the Athena. So like it. But all right, so that's where they all dwelt. But you got to understand, they sat up on a high mountain because that was basically the Greek government. That was their Greek government on the spiritual sense, and for them. Now, Mount Zion for us, you understand, is basically our ruling government. All right, so it's those at the very top. So we'll read it from the. Oh, that the salvation of Israel were come out of Zion. So those that would be judging the most, the nation. You understand? So of course, like right now, we're dealing with, because we're all at a very low state, and nobody's in a place of of rulership within Israel. So who's conducting the judgment right now from the place of Zion, which is the highest place for Israel? Well, right now we got the Most High, but he's got his throne. But there's a throne in Mount Zion, which you could say is on the right hand of the Most High. So Yahushua Mashiach. You understand? And then of course his subjects that he's dealing with directly at the moment to help him conduct the judgment, who gives him reports. So who would be that right now filling in the government of Zion? And this will make sense after we put this all together in a minute. So mind you, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. But Yahushua is in his seat. So who's giving the reports to Yahushua so that Yahushua can give his report to the Most High? Let me ask you this. Who do you think is here right now? There's a minimum of at least 4.
Like here, right now?
Physically in this room, right now. Because what did Yahushua say? When at least 2 or 3 come together in my name, there I am. So who is here? You think Yahushua is here and also in another class right now? Or who is here right now? Because there's other classes going on right now. So who's here right now?
You, the brother, and me.
Who's the fourth entity, though? Mind you, I said entity. Who's the fourth, though? I see you, sir.
No, look.
Yeah.
Yahushua? Angel?
The sis got it right there. You want to say something, sir?
Yeah, I think the brother said it.
What would you say?
Angel?
The angel. Give yourself a hand. Because the angels report to Yahushua. Now it's just like, see, think of it like this, because everybody got confused with what Yahushua was claiming who he was. Where the Sadducees and Pharisees were like, see, this nigga trying to say that he God himself. It's like, bruh, all I'm saying is I'm just hearing his name. Like, what are you talking about? I'm just doing the work in his name. All of these things are just being manifest through me, but it's in the name of the Most High. The Most High is the one who's doing it. I'm just the vessel, basically.
Right.
And of course, within the mistranslations of that, there's like, oh, well, that's because that's where you get the doctrine that Yahushua is God in the flesh. He is actually God. You got all these effed up misconceptions of what he actually said, but you just read what he said. Yeah, I'm here in my Father's name. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like take for example, my dad has a side gig where he does plumbing, right? If my dad were to send me to go do a job that he knows I can do, it's like, hey, how you doing, Miss Johnson? You know, I'm here, and you know, for Gary Hamilton. Right. You needed your seat to, you had a leak in your sink. You had a leak in your sink. I'm here for Gary Hamilton. I'm his son.
Right.
So I see you, sir. So once the job is completed and everything is all sealed, that there's no more leak, I treated her respectfully, this, that, and the other. You think that she's going to go on to Google reviews and create a whole new LLC business name in the name of Iraq? No, she's going to report that Gary Hamilton's LLC, whatever it is that, his lazy ass ain't going to do that. But hey, I'm just messing with you. But no, she gives a review on what Gary's, his plumbing side gig, whatever you want to call it. Hey, excellent customer service, at least his employees. At that point, I'm the angel of the Most High, just in the plumbing sector for my father. I'm doing the work of my father. But she would never say, this man right here is Gary in the flesh. This, like, you see how silly that is? Because I give you the phone. We could do a 3-way phone call. You can talk to my pops, myself, and then you. You get what I mean? It's like it, sir. You got your hand up.
No, yeah. What you're saying is so important, right? And like what you're saying is something that's very hard to understand if you've never had to follow orders before in your life. If you never have to follow orders from men, then this is something that you might not be able to fully grasp. You see what I'm saying? Like,
no, facts.
That's why we got a term in here. We say I'm about my father's business.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? The business aspect of that statement is very important. I'm doing what I was ordered to do. You see what I'm saying? Because the Lord has a business. You see what I'm saying? The Lord we building up the government of the Most High. Right. And it's really one of those things where, like, the best example for it is Barack Obama. Yes. Barack Obama is the best example of it. Because when you look up who killed Osama bin Laden, who killed Saddam Hussein,
excellent.
Is the officers is the
SEAL Team 6? Did they get the credit? Yeah. Right. Excellent example.
Nah, they're gonna say
Obama did it. Right.
Ordered the assassination of these terrorists. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Obama killed them, even though he never had to physically pull the trigger. It's the same exact thing with the way the Lord operates. You see what I'm saying? With his angels and the way he sent Christ in the flesh. And the same thing that we doing here in the ISUPK today. You see what I'm saying?
No, facts.
We doing the Lord's will. So like, that's
no, even the caveat off of that, because you said, people who just don't take orders. It's actually a whole lot more simpler than that in itself, because that's one thing that irks us, a lot of niggas in the workforce, where we do, the company is at an all-time high with shipping this or completing these orders, this, that, and the other. And we want to give y'all a pizza party when your supervisor gets a raise and you just get a pizza party. Right? But no, fact. Them little, it look like a corner piece of the piece of paper.
12 times.
No, right. You know what I'm saying? But yet somebody is actually getting the credit. But in this sense, in that how do I say, in that example, that's just an unrighteous way of people, hashing it out.
Right.
But the supervisor is the one who gets the raise because they say, hey, you got these niggas to do what they supposed to do. Feed them, but you gonna eat. They get the crumbs, but you gonna eat because you handle this. And of course, if the supervisor gets a raise, the one above them and the one above, they all getting raises. You just getting the crumbs like a dog. Let's be real. Let's call real. We all understand that, right? So now to bring it back to what I was saying about Zion, right? So you got to understand that, and we'll just kind of touch on this just like really quick. We'll, if you want, we can have a thorough breakdown on a later date. So Zion is literally our mountain that we refer to as like our highest point of being on a scale of, how do you say? I wouldn't necessarily say we don't like have classes. It's, what's the word? What, you know the word I'm looking for? It's not a class.
I can't think of the exact word.
Because like for us, it's either you was righteous or you was unrighteous, and we see that with the condition that the Most High puts you through.
Right.
You understand? So basically, what it would be for us is you got the 144,000, which would be the ruling government on Mount Zion, right? Then after that, then you have the basically just it's the people. You understand? Like, I see you, sir. You just have the 144,000 where we're the ones who are okay. I try to scoop myself into the 144. Nah, I'm playing. But those are the numbers that they're ruling over their people righteously, giving them that judgment. You understand? Over those said lands. You understand? Because it's 12,000 per tribe, and of course, each tribe is set their land of which they will rule over. You understand? Salaki, you had something, sir?
Like, I was going to add to what you were saying, right? It's like Zion for Israel, like it's such a spiritual goal. Like we say, you know what I'm saying? We will turn Mount Zion. We going, you know what I'm saying? Lord going to lead Zion out and all of that. It's a spiritual thing because when we established what we established on Mount Zion, we understood that this is peak hierarchy for us. You see what I'm saying? Like this is our highest state of existence right here.
Yeah.
Doing our thing. You see what I'm saying?
No,
so for us to be going through all of this captivity and knowing that eventually, like the scripture say, thy kingdom will come. You see what I'm saying? We know the kingdom of heaven will eventually be established on earth. We like, man, that's going to be just like Zion. You see what I'm saying? And that's basically where that term comes from. For us, we use that term, it's like, man, as heavy as it was on Mount Zion, as spiritual as it was, it's gonna be the same way. You see what I'm saying? So that's kind of why we always refer back to that, to that name.
No, right. So you understand that first line, right? So, that the salvation of Israel will come out of Zion, the judgment. That's the judgment within our laws, within our own, spiritually and also physically. You understand? Because we're not going to be judged by Zeus. We're not going to be judged by, what's her name from Hindu is Kali. We're not being judged by Kali. is it Kali or Kalai? Who cares? The little ugly ass girl. We're not being judged by her. We're not being judged by them African booty scratchers. We're being judged by only, first of all, the one and only true God, but his rank and order system.
Right.
You understand? Nothing else. All right. Go ahead and read on from there.
It says, when the Lord bringeth back the captivity of his people.
Break that down. What does that mean? When the Lord bringeth back the captivity of his people, what is he saying right there?
Like when he takes it away.
Exactly. I was hoping I could trip you up. I hope I could trip you up, but obviously you just put everything together. You can see, like, no, when he brings it back where the captivity is no longer afflicting us. Go ahead and read on.
God says, Jacob shall rejoice and Israel shall be glad.
I mean, that's pretty straightforward. We understand that, right? Because I mean, hell, we come together, the three of us come together simply talk about that, and like we get happy just talking about how good the kingdom is going to be, when we also know the scripture says no man has heard, seen, or even fathomed how great the kingdom is going to be. Right. But just us simply kicking it together, we just like, man, I can't wait because of, and mind you, this is small, good nights, good days that we have to get. Like, matter of fact, just yesterday, a couple of us officers went, we went and hit some golf balls at the range for about like 3 hours. Man, I had a doggone ball. Like, it had a great time. Almost felt like the king because there was nothing else I was worried about except for, I hit the ball the furthest. I was the greatest driver. But you get what I'm saying. We had a great time. Well, we were just focused on what we was doing, having a good time. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have to worry about the oppression of everybody else for just a couple of hours. You get what I'm saying? Like, and the crazy part is, like, that doesn't even scratch the surface of what the kingdom is going to be. Right. And that in itself should be even more, what's the word? Not intriguing, but more motivational, grasp you a little bit more onto wanting to be in this truth. Because, I mean, like, a simple night where we can just sit down and shoot some pool, put on some music, shoot some pool, talk some nonsense like we did a couple of weeks ago, where you was actually, you know what I'm saying? That was a good time. Eat some chicken wing. I ate on my chicken wing. But you get what I'm saying? Like, that was glorious. That was wonderful. It doesn't even scratch the surface of what is to come into the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, young man.
Just if I may, add to that, me personally, when I'm with, you brothers on those days, I feel like I'm away from all the dumb stuff in the world. I feel like I finally get that pause in life where I can just relax. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I look forward to those days. I love when my brothers call me or text me like, "Hey, you trying to come through?" Hey, if I'm not sick, if I'm not going to nothing, I'm sliding, because that's the only time I need to feel free. You know what I'm saying?
No, facts.
If that little moment feels like that, just imagine the kingdom.
That's my whole point. I see you, sir. That's my whole point with all of it is, this is a time you're feeling this way in a time of oppression where you're oppressed on what you can do. You're oppressed on, you are limited to the things that you can do. But just imagine a world where, we got a Gadite here, but Judah, we next door neighbors. It's a like it, but no, like on some real thing, like we all basically next door neighbors, and you know what I'm saying? I don't know, like, I like cows. I still do like cows. They cool creatures. They got buku personality. I can see myself actually having cows if I had the money today. Right. But you know what I'm saying? Let's say you had sheep. So there's plenty of reason for us to link up and whatnot. Not only just with, because you got wool, you got that dog, goat's milk, or not goat, but a sheep's milk is still good. You know what I'm saying? and then we need you for the doggone lamb in itself, the lamb meat. I got beef, I've got milk. We've got more than a reason to come together. But then on top of that, like, can you imagine the possibilities of what you can do on land that you own where you ain't got some goofy ass white boy just showing up because on some hater shit? There's nowhere near us. We might be like a good 5 miles apart because I got so much land and you got so much land. We 5 miles apart and we next door neighbor. We're the closest neighbors.
Right.
In today's kingdom and Esau's kingdom, they're gonna find a reason to come and mess with us because we niggas. But in our kingdom, I do see you, sir. So but in our kingdom, could you imagine the dumb shit we would? It's not dumb, but I mean, if you were around me, it's gonna be dumb. But you know what I'm saying? Like just the fun, the dumb fun we would have, just because it's like, yo, we can just do. And it's, of course, it's all within the law. Like, don't y'all get it twisted thinking that, like, oh, in the kingdom we get to be wild and reckless and it's a white man's heaven. Like, no, we in white man's heaven now. And look at how disgusting it is. He's polluting the earth. He's destroying animals' ecosystems. He's destroying people. You understand? But when we're in rulership, all of these pleas for help and people asking for assistance and stuff like that, it's not going to be an issue.
Right.
And then not only that, but for the people who are ruling it, man, you want to talk about a good time. Listen, King David, and I got you, sir. King David said it the best. Just let me be in the kingdom. I'll be a doorman. Just let me be in the kingdom.
Right.
King David had a great understanding what was going to come. That don't mean that he heard. Doesn't mean that he saw. Doesn't mean that he can imagine what the kingdom was going to be. But he did understand that, you know what, being a doorman was better than any other possibilities, you know, of not being out of it. Salaki, go ahead, sir. Salaki.
Nah, that last part you just said is so heavy. Like, I'd rather be a doorman in the kingdom, a mere carpenter, whatever low job you can do. I'd rather do that in the kingdom than be a rich man.
Well, I've been walking dogs, pooper, scooper.
You see what I'm saying? I'd rather do that than be a rich man here in America because
facts.
Oppression, not only the physical oppression, but the mental oppression is just that diabolical.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just to go back to what I was saying earlier about, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, we'd be having an amazing time. You know what I'm saying? Feeling like we got a little taste of the kingdom just when we be kicking it together.
Right.
So imagine what it is there. Like, I'll take it one step further. Like, that's why I always look forward to Passover every single year.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Because being at Passover, seeing all them brothers come together, like it's the only place on the planet where you see this many blacks and Hispanics and every Americans come together. And it's not no gun, no shootouts. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no issues. You know what I'm saying? Everything is amazing and in order, man. And that's why the most important thing on the planet is brotherhood. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, the Lord chose to spare Israel because of a black man that showed his people brotherhood. You see what I'm saying? Like, if Christ didn't show brotherhood, like without brotherhood, we wouldn't even be here, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's because of brotherhood that we can look forward to the kingdom. It's because of brotherhood that, you know what I'm saying, brothers like a rock, like make sure, get up and go teach that class. Because like, I'm doing this for my people. I love my people because I'm gonna get the hell up out of here.
Most high Christ.
You know what I'm saying? So like, and that's and so like, I just wanted to make sure you know what I'm saying, caveat what y'all was saying about the brotherhood thing, because without brotherhood, man, we don't got nothing going. So like,
nah, facts. Because like what the brother was saying, man, like what he said, caveat off of what I said, brotherhood is a weapon. You understand? Y'all really don't understand it until you are in a position to actually wield it, right, and utilize that weapon. You understand? Can anybody tell me what I just explain what I just said? That you don't understand how brotherhood is a weapon until you have the opportunity to wield it and utilize that weapon. What did I just say? I see you, but and not to pick on you, like I am kind of, I want you to tell me what that means because of where you came from. And then of course, where you at today. and what you've also experienced thus far.
You know, brotherhood, being that weapon is important in so many different aspects. Not just
got the announcements. I hear you.
Being there for each other, but just knowing that I can call my brother no matter what time it is at night, and I could be going through something crazy, and he's gonna be there for me to guide me through righteousness. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Brotherhood can definitely keep you out of prison. It can keep you off killing somebody.
Man,
keep you off,
the brother going in like
so many things. So for me personally, I love the brotherhood because I know where I came from, and my mind used to be a lot fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
No, kind.
So where when I even saw my brother at the time, I was like, I don't give a fuck. But now it's like when I see my brother, I just want to give you a hug and show you that I'm here for you. You feel me?
Right.
So that's why I'm thankful that I'm here, home and true, where I can really learn how to have that brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's how I see that.
No, most time, Christ. Sir, did you want to add anything onto that?
No, the brother said was
spot
perfect.
on.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if I could, it's like, brother said it's perfect. Like, it's nothing like, we go through too much as black men here in America.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? To not have any type of escape from that oppression.
For a fact.
You know what I'm saying? So when you come into the truth, you come into the UPK, and you realize, damn, like, man, these niggas is here going through the same thing I'm going through, but they fighting just like me. You know what I'm saying? And they want the best for me. They want my best interest. Like, it's, man, some of us that grew up in our own family stabbed us in the back.
Right.
Can't trust our own goddamn family. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
How many of us have been betrayed, or you know what I'm saying? How many children have been molested by uncles and aunties and all of those type of things, man? That's what the meaning of that scripture that said we born into sin. Like, we born damn near not even having a chance. You see what I'm saying? Like, just the diabolical life. You see what I'm saying? So
facts.
Coming into the truth and realizing that, man, these brothers feel the same way I do, and because of that, they willing to get their lives for me. I'm gonna make sure I'm willing to get my life for them in return, man. You see what I'm saying?
Now, with that being said, right, when you say you give your life for them, though, like, can you give me an example of that? Just like for the class.
For example, let's say we at camp, right? And
I see you.
We could be at camp. You know what I'm saying? The brother doing everything in his power to reach his people, doing everything in his power to let his brother know, hey, man, you are gold to the Lord. He needs to change your life. Man, you don't got to sell those drugs to your people, man. You can be better than that. You can change. You don't got to eat that pork. Sister, you don't got to be a whore in order to live. You see what I'm saying? There are people that will literally try to kill us for that. And people have tried to kill us for that and have killed us for that.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying? You can't have someone who doesn't love you by your side defending you in that situation. If I'm on that mic and I'm trying to reach my people, I need you. It's important that you have trustworthy brothers by your side that's going to lay their life down. You see what I'm saying? Like Christ said, greater man had no greater love had no man in this that laid down his life for his friends.
Right.
But y'all get the point though. You see what I'm saying?
Kind.
And be willing to go there, be willing to even I'll give you another situation. Now, might not be death, but be willing to give your brother your last. You see what I'm saying?
That's where I wanted to go with it.
Yeah,
that's where I wanted to go
like,
with
man,
it.
You know what? This is my last $20, but I know my brother needs this, man. I'm going to be all right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Lord be with me, man. Here, let me get this to this brother, man, because he's worthy of it. And he's more, and to see your brother is more worthy of it than you see yourself. You see what I'm saying? He's more worthy of this last $20 than I am. Just because you know that he fighting this fight with you, man. You see what I'm saying? And be willing to give him that, be willing to make that sacrifice, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah, man, you had your hand up.
Just to piggyback off what the brother was saying, it's giving your everything for your brother, giving your last. You know what I'm saying? Like, if my brother called me because he needs something, I'm there for my brother, no matter what. Like, that's my brother. If I got it, guess what? You got it too. It is
Facts.
what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to make sure we carry each other's burdens. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
That's
right.
That's how that's how I'm putting it all together. Like, it is what it is. I'm not gonna sit here and be mad or have grudges. Why does your brother always call me for $20? Hey, you need $20? Here you go. You know what I'm saying? I don't need it, but you need it, so here you go, my brother. You feel me?
Right.
Handle that. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about when you gotta pay me back. You probably don't even gotta pay me back. You feel me? Like, if I don't need it, we're brothers. We need to take care of each other. We need to make sure we're straight because the oppressor's already trying to knock us down.
Right. Facts.
We have to be there for each other no matter what.
Facts. you know, and everything that the both of y'all just said was, you know, 100% true. You know what I'm saying? And of course, I got to put it in my words because it's still my class. You ain't gonna teach my class, but no, it's a lot. No, it's a lot. But you know, but for real, you know, because you know that brotherhood, when you wield that sword of brotherhood to what both of y'all just said, when you wield it, you wielding it is knowing that you got your brothers in your hand. You understand? And then you actually utilizing your sword to combat the adversities of the world, because it's not just, you understand, people coming up against you saying that you a cultist, that you don't know what you're talking about, you know, talking down on you or whatnot. But it's also, you know, the businesses coming up against you, the economy coming up against you. It's also the you know, you had a good example. Both of y'all said the same thing. You know, oh, somebody needs $20. Well, what if I hit you and say, hey, I need you to cover my whole light bill, right, my whole power bill, right, and we in the middle of winter, right? Hey, hey man, I can't feed me and my babies. Like I got a week left. I get my food stamps back, or I actually get paid, whatever the case may be. Like, listen, the reason why somebody's even asking that in the first place is because they know they got their brothers in their hands, right, and they're wielding the power of brotherhood, right, to slash through the adversity, right, so that they can defeat. Because you know what it is? If you don't ask, you got starving babies. Right. You got cold, shivering babies. Mm-hmm. Your wife shivering, cold, hungry. You understand? You're about to lose your doggone house because you refuse to pick up that sword to fight, to take that last stand. I see you. I see you. To take that last stand and fight, you're going to lose it all because you refuse to pick up your sword to fight. I see you as well. You understand? You refuse to pick up the sword to fight. So now you're going to lose everything because you can't even step onto the battlefield if you're not ready to fight in the first doggone place. You understand? That's why brotherhood is so doggone important. You understand? Go ahead, young man. You had your hand up first.
One thing that my mom used to always tell me was a closed mouth won't get fed.
Facts.
Right. And that's
I think all niggas got it. I don't mess with you. I'm fucking. No, go ahead though.
Now being where I'm at today, it's like I want my brothers to know, like, if you don't speak, I don't know. You feel me?
Facts.
So speak, talk to me, and I'm gonna talk back. You feel me? Like,
nah, facts.
That's what we're here for. Don't keep your mouth closed, because you never know. I might be the brother that can help you in that way. And even if I'm not, we're gonna find out a way together.
Facts.
Yeah, in righteousness.
No, facts. No, exactly. Sir, you had something?
Yeah, if I could, it's so important that we as brothers understand how much love we got for each other. You see what I'm saying? Like, we came up in a system where a man is shamed if he needs help down there. You know,
right.
You need to ask another man for something and all of that. Sisters damn near don't make it no better. You know what I'm saying? Because in the world, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost embarrassing. So some brothers are suffering in silence. You see what I'm saying? They'd rather not say nothing to spare them of that embarrassment. Let me tell you something. That's a demon that's on you.
Facts.
That is a demon that's on you, that has been put on you to keep you oppressed and to keep you down. You see what I'm saying? Brothers, we love you up in here, man. You see what I'm saying? My nieces and nephews, that's my sister. You see what I'm saying? Like, your family is my family. Right. And I'm going to be mad as hell at you for not asking me for help. Man. I'm going to be pissed off at you because you sitting there struggling and you had my number. You allowed yourself to suffer.
When you didn't have to.
You allowed yourself to suffer, and I was there. What are you saying about me? You think that I would judge you? Everybody say only God. You think that I would judge you because you need help? Like, we not going through the same damn thing. Like, I don't know how it is. Like, I don't know the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of, like the oppressor. Right. I'll get my.
No, we're only on YouTube and Facebook.
Okay, cool. The white man, the goddamn devil. Like,
that's right.
But understand that it is extremely. Damn it, most unbrotherly thing you can do is need help and not reach out to your brother. Man.
Can you expound as to why that is so unbrotherly?
That is so unbrotherly because by you suffering like that, I'm suffering. You are hurting me.
Man, it's a lot.
You're hurting me.
Straight, like, bro.
I don't know.
That's so doggone
I care
heavy.
more about my brothers than myself, man.
Right.
It's like it. You see what I'm saying? Y'all the only goddamn thing I do care about. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for my brothers, it wasn't for this brotherhood, man. Goddamn, Lord be with a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? It's like it. Like, I rely on this brotherhood too much to see one of my brothers suffer, man. It's gonna hurt me to my core. And because you're hurting me, if my brother slap me, I'm gonna be mad. You see what I'm saying? If my brother hurt me physically, I'm gonna be upset. I'm gonna be upset if you hurt me emotionally too, man. Because I care too much about my brothers to see that you're suffering. And for you to not think that I would be there to help you, man. You bring me great joy by me being knowing that I was over to help you. Man, my brother good now, man. We took care of that. You see what I'm saying? You uplifted my spirits. And it's a two birds with one stone, man. You see what I'm saying? We gotta make sure, man. Everybody listening online, always keep this in mind. Don't ever refuse to reach out to your brothers, man. You're hurting them by doing so. It's like,
nah, facts. Nah, facts. All right, so did we already pick up? You already got there to Isaiah 40. What was it? 45 and 17. Okay, so this is the last one. We're gonna close it on this one, Isaiah 45 and 17. But before we read this, I want y'all to name me the three things, right? Because like I started off with the class, there was an objective I wanted to teach y'all to make sure that y'all at least got an understanding of what my title meant. Title being the salvation is for one people. So automatically it should be an easy two things that y'all should be able to name. But there's a third thing in particular that I want y'all to name off. But what are the three things the three major takeaways that y'all should be able to take from the, what was it? The 1, 2, 3. Was it like four verses that we read? Three verses that we read? Had a bunch of questions. No, that was me being sidetracked. That was me sidetracked.
Song 14.
Right now we're on Isaiah 45 and 17. Sorry. But what I want before we read this though, who can tell me like the three major takeaways that we should be able to get from today's class? There's a theme with a theme with everything that we've read. And the first two should damn near be obvious. Going from the title to what we've actually read. And the third thing is what's been within it. I see.
Most High is going to continue he's going to, take this captivity out of our way and bring us back to the fold. And, us as a people, as a nation, we got to continue to have brotherhood. So when that day comes, you'll be straight with you.
Like you ride around a ballpark, but you ain't batting just yet. You had your hand up, sir?
Yeah, I came in the middle of shit, but
no sweat.
Still, I would say
I gave y'all this last verse that we was going to read, and that should help.
Right.
So while the officer is reading over it, young man, you can read over that, and then you know what I'm saying. But go ahead and slack it, sir.
First thing I would say, brotherhood is a weapon. Second thing I would say, the white man is the devil.
That's right.
When in doubt, you can always go there. And the third thing is, the Lord has not forsaken his people. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get the hell up out of here. And Lord allow, we're going to get the hell up out of here together. You know what I'm saying? As long as we stick to our orders that the Lord gave us. So like that's my theory.
I'll take 2 of the 3.
Which true.
That's cheating.
Okay.
Nah, I mean the fact that the Most High is not going to forsake His people.
Right.
I damn near actually want to put that as a 4th thing.
Right.
So because there's one thing in particular as well. Because you said brotherhood is a weapon. I'll say half a point because it's not all the way there, but I'm still award you the point. So brotherhood is a weapon. Hint, hint. Most High, the Most High is not going to forsake His people. Brotherhood is a weapon. And then there's a 3rd thing in particular. So right now, technically, he gave me 1.5. Because one of his answers was, it was there, but not in completion. Because we did have a discussion about it. The sister said, brotherhood, sisterhood, love is an action and word. Okay? So he said brotherhood. Okay, so sis, you got to always remember that even though that we say brotherhood, that automatically encompasses sisterhood. Right. So I will never take those two as 2 separate answers. Because if you say, show me some good sisterhood, even if you were to say that to me, like I would know not to get offended because you basically just saying like, I just want to be treated like a sister. In general. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, exactly. It's a generalization. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be offended by that. So understand that brotherhood is a generalized term that also encompasses his sisters as well. You understand? And then you said love is an action word. You are right about that, but that's not in the lane I'm seeking to pursue. Did you want to take another stab at it? No. So I mean, hey, of course, like you said, man, and that was an excellent way to put it. The Most High is not going to forsake His people. You understand?
Right.
Which also means by default, we cannot forsake our own.
That's right.
At the end of the day, our brotherhood, or as the sister has said, /sisterhood, but our brotherhood is what's going to pull us out of our rut, because this is not only just our sword, it's also our shield. It is our ladder. It is our hammer. It is our nail. It is how we build our nation. Brotherhood is multi-layered as far as a utility tool. But at the end of the day, what we boil it down to is the fact that it is our sword to defeat any adversity that comes our way as a whole, as a nation. You understand? And as far as the 3rd, you understand, salvation is only for us. Damn right. And that should be the number one thing we should take from this. Mm-hmm. Look at the title. Salvation is for one people. Not a single time in Salakia. I got buku verses to go over. So if y'all just let me know, we can do a part 2, Lord allowed, next week. Right. Next time I teach, we'll rock with that. We could do a part 2 and finish the rest of it. And you know what I'm saying? And you can see that nowhere in the scriptures are you going to see that an Esau was delivered and Japhet had salvation, right, and Ham had salvation. And mind you, Shem, Japhet, and Shem, Japhet, and Ham. Salaki. Japhet always throws me off. It rhymes so much, I'll be forgetting the 2 brothers. Those are the 3 main brothers. The 3 main, you understand? Because after that, then it bleeds into Shem. Then Shem creates, his line bleeds into Jacob and Esau. And that's where it splits for the final time. Right. So, in other words, to make it really simple, is Jacob against Ham, Ham and Japheth. But there was a split off as well, where Esau's basically scooted off. Is what, like, y'all get what I'm saying? He's that bad seed, the last bad seed that needs to be exterminated. It will be exterminated. You understand? But the point is that I'm just saying is I want y'all to understand today's class was about y'all gaining an understanding that the salvation is only for those that the Most High gave the promise of salvation unto. And that is that is to those of the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, or Yasha, Allah, Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel, which is the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, or indigenous peoples.
That's right.
Y'all understand? So I will make sure that I keep that in my notes. I know I've already wrote down 2 questions for the next time that I do teach class. You understand? When we will go over those, Lord allow, the next time I teach class. And so with that, I'm going to pass the class to Precinct Officer 1000, Shalom.
This is the ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK. Started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rules for new brother and sister. When a new brother and sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, and verse 21, and the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10, which means 10th in the Hebrew, or Maisharah. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, which is a free will offering for a priest, which is not mandatory, and whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations, we do have the Passover, April 20th, right? We got the Passover coming up April 20th in Durham, North Carolina. You see what I'm saying? It's going to be $200 per head per family. You see what I'm saying? So make sure, you know what I'm saying, you get with your camp leader in your respective zones for more additional information about this year's upcoming 55th annual Passover. You see what I'm saying? And any brother in the school wants to be a trooper, start wearing all black, headband, shirt, pants, boots, and scarf. With that, men of Israel, I might you, which means to stand. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, I might Shabbat, I might you, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatam.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatam.
Yahweh
We'll still salute the sister. We got a sister.
we got a sister on no sweat.
So no SAR, but go ahead.
Yeah, we're going to give a courtesy salute to the sisters. Yeah, men of Israel, I might Shabbat, I might you, Barak, Yahweh Shemar Elatah Hashem Yahushua. Yahweh dismissed.